Consciousness, the very essence of our awareness, has baffled scientists and philosophers for centuries. It is the silent witness of our thoughts, the perceiver of reality, and the elusive force that separates the living from the non-living. What if consciousness is not merely a byproduct of biochemical processes in the brain, but something far more fundamental? What if it follows the bizarre rules of quantum mechanics? More intriguingly, what if this knowledge was already encoded in ancient Hindu scriptures thousands of years ago? Ancient Hindu texts are filled with stories that mirror quantum mechanics. Consider Lord Vishnu's dream, a cosmic vision in which he dreams the entire universe into existence. This concept suggests that reality is not absolute, but a manifestation of consciousness, much like the quantum principle that an observer brings reality into being. Vishnu's dream cycle represents the creation and dissolution of the universe, akin to how wave functions collapse upon observation. The story of Narada and Lord Vishnu further exemplifies this. When Narada, the celestial sage, asks Vishnu about the nature of Maya, or illusion, Vishnu tells him to fetch some water from a nearby river. There, Narada falls in love with a woman, gets married, has children, and lives an entire life, only to suddenly realize that it was all an illusion orchestrated by Vishnu. This tale eerily mirrors the many worlds interpretation in quantum physics, where infinite possibilities exist until one is experienced. It also aligns with simulation theory, suggesting that our perceived reality might be a construct. Similarly, Shiva's cosmic dance symbolizes the rhythm of creation and destruction, a process eerily reminiscent of quantum fluctuations, where particles spontaneously appear and disappear in the quantum field. The Nataraja statue at CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, was gifted by India to represent this profound cosmic dance, emphasizing the deep connection between Hindu philosophy and modern science. Modern physics has shown us that reality is not as solid as it appears. At the smallest scales, particles exist in a superposition of states influenced by observation itself, a phenomenon best captured by the famous double-slit experiment. A single electron, when unobserved, behaves like a wave, spreading across space, but when measured, it collapses into a definite position. This suggests that the act of observation plays an intrinsic role in shaping reality. Could it be that consciousness is the fundamental force that brings the universe into existence? The Upanishads, the ancient Hindu scriptures, seem to have hinted at this long before modern physics. In the Mandukya Upanishad, consciousness is described as non-dual, infinite, and the basis of all existence. The text speaks of Turaya, the fourth state of consciousness which transcends waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. It is not bound by space and time. This aligns strikingly with the quantum concept of superposition and non-locality. Quantum particles do not have a fixed state until measured, just as Turaya is beyond fixed states of awareness. One of the most compelling quantum phenomena that suggest consciousness is fundamental is quantum entanglement. When two particles become entangled, their states remain interconnected regardless of distance. Einstein himself called this spooky action at a distance. Ancient Hindu texts describe a similar interconnectedness of all beings, famously encapsulated in the phrase Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. This means that the self is not separate from the universe, but intricately linked to everything else. The Bhagavad Gita further echoes this in Krishna's discourse to Arjuna, stating that the soul is beyond time, space, and causation, qualities eerily similar to quantum phenomena. Another intriguing connection arises from Erwin Schrödinger, one of the pioneers of quantum mechanics, who was deeply influenced by the Upanishads. He openly credited Vedantic philosophy for his understanding of wave mechanics, famously writing that the multiplicity of individual consciousnesses is only an illusion, In reality, there is only one universal mind. This idea resonates with quantum field theory, where the universe is described as an all-pervading energy field with particles emerging from it. Recent experiments lend further support to this hypothesis. The orchestrated objective reduction theory, proposed by physicist Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff, suggests that consciousness arises from quantum processes occurring within microtubules inside brain neurons. Microtubules are tiny protein structures that appear to play a crucial role in cellular functions, but Penrose and Hameroff argue that they can maintain quantum coherence, meaning they can exist in multiple states simultaneously before collapsing into a definite state, just like quantum particles. This would explain why our thoughts and decisions seem to emerge from a place beyond classical physics. Even more unsettling is the delayed choice experiment, a variation of the double-slit experiment. In it, a particle's behavior is influenced by measurements taken after it has already passed through a slit. This suggests that present choices can influence past events, a mind-bending conclusion that defies our traditional understanding of time. The Bhagavad Gita describes time as cyclical rather than linear, hinting at a reality where past, present, and future are interconnected, just as quantum mechanics seems to suggest. Hindu sages described a state of samadhi, a heightened form of consciousness where the meditator dissolves into the infinite, much like a quantum particle existing in multiple states before collapsing into one. The Rig Veda speaks of an indivisible reality, Brahman, which permeates everything yet remains beyond comprehension. This is remarkably similar to the quantum vacuum, the fabric of space-time from which all particles emerge. If consciousness is quantum in nature, it could explain phenomena that remain mysteries to mainstream science, such as near-death experiences, telepathy, and synchronicities. In quantum mechanics, particles can communicate instantaneously across vast distances. Could human minds, which are composed of quantum systems, also exhibit such connectivity? Hindu mystics and yogis have long spoken of siddhis, supernatural abilities arising from deep meditation, perhaps an ancient understanding of quantum principles at play. Furthermore, consider the role of observer effect in quantum mechanics. The very act of observation collapses a wave function into reality. This suggests that without an observer, the universe remains in a state of infinite possibilities. Could this imply that consciousness itself is what brings reality into being? The Advaita Vedanta school of Hindu philosophy asserts that the universe exists because the Atman, or the individual soul, observes it. The universe is not separate from the observer. It exists because of consciousness itself. Despite these tantalizing connections, mainstream science remains hesitant to fully embrace the idea that consciousness is quantum. One reason is the measurement problem. Scientists still do not understand how or why a quantum wave function collapses into reality upon observation. But if consciousness is the missing link in this equation, it could revolutionize our understanding of physics, biology, and even spirituality. Perhaps the most profound implication of this theory is that reality itself may be an illusion, just as Hindu philosophy has long claimed. The famous concept of Maya, the illusionary nature of the world, finds its modern counterpart in the simulation hypothesis proposed by physicists like Nick Bostrom. If consciousness is indeed quantum, then reality may be nothing more than a holographic projection shaped by observation. Science and spirituality are often seen as separate domains, but the quantum study of consciousness may be the bridge that finally unites them. The ancient Hindu sages, through deep meditative insight, may have accessed truths that modern physics is only beginning to unravel. If consciousness is quantum, then the next great scientific revolution may not be in particle physics, but in the study of our own minds. The question remains, If reality depends on consciousness, then who or what is the ultimate observer? The answer may lie within the very fabric of the cosmos waiting to be unveiled.